Russell T Davies and Steven Moffat in Doctor Who together is a match made in heaven, and I'm gonna prove it to you. So semi-recently, it was heavily rumoured that Steven Moffat is going to be coming back and writing an episode for season 14, and he might continue writing episodes under RTD. I say semi-recently, this was like a month ago, but I still want to cover it, so deal with that. And I personally think that would be such a fantastic thing. Because I know for some fans they'd really get behind that, and hopefully then they can get behind this video. And then other fans had multiple reasons why this might not be such a good idea, and I'm here to debunk those worries. Make sure you feel okay with it's not that deep. I'm sure you'll survive whether Steven Moffat returns or not. But first, let me get my classic YouTube script out. Most of you watching this video aren't subscribed. In fact, fucking hell, 86.5% of you aren't subscribed. That means only 13.5% of people who watch my videos are subscribed. Your class, if you're not subscribed to the Nerdy Brit, subscribe, because we make banging, funny, invigorating Doctor Who videos. So please, drop us a subscribe. Do people usually drop subscribes? You do now. Now, first of all, I do think on a serious note, it's important to address the elephant in the room. This announcement came alongside some Doctor Who redacted drama and just general complaints about the lack of diversity within Doctor Who creatives and writers' rooms. And that, yes, I can see is a genuine complaint people can have. Probably the only genuine complaint I've personally agreed with, that no, this wouldn't be the most ideal step for diversity. But I trust in Russell, and I trust that he's building a team of really diverse writers for season 14 and the show going forward, and I still think Steven Moffat, even if he just wrote one episode, which is my pitch here, we'll get there, but I think that would be a fantastic addition. So now, let's get on to the fun stuff. Russell T Davies and Steven Moffat have very different writing styles. RTD's Who had sci-fi elements, but a lot of his Who was based around heart and emotion and big team-ups and all that fun stuff. And while Steven Moffat certainly had a lot of these elements, he was a lot more interested in, within his show-running stuff, a lot more of the complicated, time-travel-y sci-fi elements. Not saying there wasn't complicated sci-fi in Russell, not saying there wasn't heart in Steven Moffat, but those were the directions those showrunners decided to go into. But now we go on to the next step. Moffat also wrote under RTD in RTD1. I know most of you will know that, but I've got to keep this following along. I'm developing a storyline, so much so that I drew a line. Now, if you needed reminding of Moffat's credits within RTD1, as it's now been politely labelled, they include The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances from Series 1, The Girl in the Fireplace from Series 2, Blink from Series 3, and Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead, as well as Time Crash. Time Crash is incredible. First of all, what you'll notice there, Steven Moffat is a fantastic writer. Like, all of those episodes are regarded as, like, amongst the best of RTD1, yet Steven Moffat deserves a lot of the credit for them because he wrote them. So yes, that's my first point as to why this would be a match made in heaven. Steven Moffat writes good solo episodes. But really, the bulk of my idea here comes in what Steven Moffat brings to an overall series. Now, Moffat's two-parters within RTD, Empty Child, Doctor Dances, Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead, are genuinely fantastic. And not that this isn't true for the single episodes, but they bring something so new and different to the series they're in. Not saying Series 1 and Series 4 didn't have scary elements. I think Midnight is a great piece of, like, psychological scary horror, but Steven Moffat really managed to bring, like, the fear and, like, scares into Doctor Who. That's what Steven Moffat has always been good at, bringing cool but, like, creepy concepts into the show, and he does it brilliantly. But what they do within their series is just really complement RTD's style so well. Again, Series 1 and 4 are both great series, but they're filled with lots of fun stories, lots of entertainment value. And what these two-parters within the middle of these series do is really bring back the fear factor and the scares and just create for, like, a season of interesting things. That's the thing. A serialized series where, like, each series is, like, one story, you're allowed to have episodes which are all a similar tone because that's how storytelling works. Yet Doctor Who is one of the very few episodic types of storytelling still remaining, and therefore you use the different episodes within a series to tell different kinds of stories. And in modern Who, there is no one better doing like the creepy, suspenseful, more scary horror side of Doctor Who than Steven Moffat. You want more evidence? Steven Moffat is probably only writing, if at all, one episode for Series 14. This is because Series 14 has been confirmed to only have 8 episodes. And if there are going to be any two-parters, it's likely either the start or end of the series, which, let's be honest, as showrunner, Russel is going to write himself. But fear not, because in Series 2 and 3, we have fantastic examples of Moffat just doing a one-off within a RTD series. Girl in the Fireplace and Blink. Now, there are many other YouTube videos you can go to that will ramble on about how bloody good Blink is, but it's bloody good. I know, I'm a YouTube reviewer. I use technical terms such as bloody good. But these episodes really managed to show well Moffat's Moffatisms, for a better word, within these solo episodes. Girl in the Fireplace from Series 2 really telling that complicated, time-travel-y, messing about with different bits of time kind of story. And Blink from Series 3 also doing a lot of that time-travel-y, messy about kind of stuff. Not messy about in a bad way, but messy about as a technical term, but also doing the really scary, psychologically horror-y stuff really, really well. I spent a lot of this video proving that Steven Moffat can write. I think people realised he could write. But that's why it's such a match made in heaven. For me personally, as I've probably alluded to in the past, whole series of Moffat's kind of writing style don't work as well because you get bored of the same old Moffat tropes, just as some fans do get bored of the same old RTD tropes within seasons. But having a sprinkling of Moffat within a big RTD powerhouse season is a proven formula that worked for 4 seasons over and over again. And while I think we're much more likely to get a Girl in the Fireplace or Blink style episode, just because of the amount of season that we have, I think that's perfect. For an RTD season, that kind of style of storytelling works really well. Now, do I think this'll happen? I'd be very surprised if Moffat wants to come back to just write single episodes, but then maybe he doesn't want to come back to showrun full time, but he's got some ideas, and, he's a writer, he might just want to consistently work. Who knows? But I honestly think this would be such a good idea, and I don't think RTD's the man to block it, because I think he realises that Moffat writing episodes under an RTD era is a match made in heaven. We've come full circle, yes. Hope you all enjoyed this video. As I said, please subscribe, it would mean a ruddy lot to me. And if you want a more comedic, laid-back style video, I let ChatGPT write an entire Doctor Who video, and it made some funny moments. And, yeah, it's a good video. It's a good video, so please check it out there and subscribe and see you later. Too many self-promos. I tried to do them all and I failed.